Hi, I'm Kaisha Young.
And I'm Alex Gay. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
Thanks for tuning in. We have your latest news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar.
First are Clemson news. Clemson City and Regional Planning Graduate Program has been named one of the nation's best by Valentin, which is the main trade association that's responsible for ranking academic planning programs throughout the country. The program was ranked 10th in the South region and 12th in the entire U.S. This new national rank is an honor, said James H. Spencer, professor and chair of the Department of Planning, Preservation, and Development. It's a testament to the strategic and careful hiring, scholarly engagement, and student achievement that have resulted in an appreciating value of Clemson's Master of City and Regional Planning degree.
The Dr. Phineas J. Fisher Middle School is the first project-based science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, or STEAM, school in Greenville County. The school emphasizes a transdisciplinary curriculum driven by problem-solving, discovery, and exploratory learning. Fisher Middle School uses industrial, open, and flexible design to provide students with a more flexible experience that Fisher's program director says is more developmentally appropriate because children are typically more fidgety in middle school. Since its conception, from the development of plans to building the curriculum, Clemson School of Education has been closely involved. Members of the School of Education will continue to work with Fisher to ensure that the students are getting the most out of the education and the planners can learn more about the needs of the school. The collaborative effort is sure to be a great learning experience for all parties involved.
Starting this week, Clemson's organization, Tigers for Tigers, will kick off its celebration for National Tiger Awareness Week. Clemson is one of 8 schools that are involved with the National Tigers for Tigers Coalition. According to Sierra Hoytington, Clemson's Tigers for Tigers Coalition liaison, there are only 3,200 tigers left in the wild. The week's events will include a fundraising night, a free viewing of the elephant in the living room, a Clemson Tiger mascot cross-campus chase, a Tiger Fest that will include free t-shirts and food, and a presentation by animal rescue expert Tim Harrison. Support your fellow Tigers, literally, and come out to these events.
It is no doubt that throughout its history, Clemson University has been very supportive of the military. Later this month, this support will grow with the opening of the new Student Veterans Resource Center in Tillman Hall. The new center will serve as a base of operation for the Student Veterans Association, an organization committed to aiding students who have or are currently serving in the U.S. military. The Student Veterans Association provides many resources for student veterans, including helping in the transition from military life back to civilian and higher education life. The organization is hoping that the new center will add visibility that will allow them to reach out to a larger number of student veterans. A ribbon-cutting ceremony for the center will be held at 3:30 on November 20th at room 204, Tillman Hall.
On November 21st, Clemson will host its first Tigers for Troops golf tournament at Boscobel Golf and Country Club in Pendleton. The tournament is a student-led and planned event executed by the Clemson Student Veterans Association. All of the proceeds will go to a scholarship that was created for veterans who enroll at Clemson. The tournament will provide a $1,000 scholarship each year to a deserving veteran. There are several ways to get involved in the Tigers for the Troops golf tournament. You can help by donating goods and services, playing in the tournament, or advising. Now let's check in with Gabby Bates for sports.
So much to talk about in Clemson sports, so let's get started. Clemson football faced Wake Forest last Thursday at Wake Forest. The number 19 Tigers were able to defeat Wake Forest 34-20. The Tigers started out pretty slow with Wake Forest going up first early 7-0 in the first quarter. Clemson was able to respond with Amon Lakip kicking a field goal and later a touchdown made by Wayne Gallman that put the Tigers in the lead going into the second quarter. Gallman and Scott were both star performers of the game. Both helped put 4 of the Tigers' touchdowns on the board. Scott carried the ball 8 times for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cole Stout threw for 282 yards and had 3 touchdowns for the win. Clemson had 427 yards of total offense. This is Clemson's 6th straight win this season. Clemson is now 7-2 overall and 6-1 in the ACC. They have now moved up in the rankings to number 19. The Tigers will face Georgia Tech on the road this Saturday. The Clemson men's basketball team defeated Anderson 62-36 Saturday in Littlejohn Coliseum. The Tigers were able to hold Anderson to 8 field goals and forced 19 straight misses. Rod Hall and Jordan Roper had an excellent performance, each gaining 12 points, which included 2 3-pointers. Game also had a great performance with 9 points and 13 rebounds. NOCO was also able to help the Tigers to their win with 7 points and 8 rebounds. The Tigers had sort of a slow start in the second half. The Tigers missed its first 15 shots, but NOCO was able to end that with a layup inside. The regular season starts for the Tigers Friday, November the 14th against Florida A&M at 7 in Littlejohn Coliseum. The Clemson men's soccer team will advance to the semifinals in the ACC Men's Championship. Senior Cavati scored the winning goal in the 5th round of the penalty kick shootout. Chris Gladak, redshirt junior goalkeeper, saved 3 shots in the shootout. The Tigers will face number 1 seed Notre Dame on Friday, November the 14th in North Carolina. The Clemson men's golf team finished 5th at Kaanapali, Hawaii on Sunday. Bill Kennerly finished the team's best 8th place individually. Kennerly shot 2 under par 69. Junior Miller Cap shot a 73 on Sunday and 214 total for 54 holes. Cody Prevost shot a 73 on Sunday and 217 total for 54 holes. Stephen Bear had a 73 on Sunday with 219 total for 3 rounds. Other sports include Texas A&M's upset against number 3 Auburn 41-38. Auburn had a chance to tie the game, but they fumbled the ball, ending in a 15-point comeback. Alabama was also able to defeat LSU 20-13. That's all for your sports. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. Now on to national news. Victoria's Secret has reportedly swapped its ad slogan from "The Perfect Body" to "A Body for Everybody," which is meant to appeal to non-supermodels. The slogan appears on an image on the company's website, which shows 10 super skinny models clad in bras and panties with their ribs clearly visible, which body image activist groups found to be hypocritical. The petitioners of Change.org are taking credit for the slogan swap, saying, "Victoria's Secret have changed the wording on their website from 'The Perfect Body' to 'A Body for Everybody.' This is amazing news."
After slamming the sparsely populated Aleutian Islands, a huge storm powered by the remnants of Typhoon Nuri didn't do much damage in Alaska, but it still has some left to contribute to the mainland states. According to the National Weather Service, the storm is sending some frigid air our way, with temperatures expected to be 20 to 40 degrees below average in some areas. Snow is expected in some northern states, even up to 1 to 2 feet. Hopefully won't get hit too hard here, but it might be wise to have your cold weather clothes ready.
On Friday, a Pennsylvania jury convicted Robert Ferrante of first-degree murder for poisoning his wife with cyanide. Ferrante worked at the University of Pittsburgh as a medical researcher and professor. He also managed a laboratory that conducted clinical trials using various drugs and chemicals. Authorities say Ferrante mixed the cyanide with the creatine his pregnant wife was taking, which ultimately ended in her death. Ferrante's formal sentence will take place February 4th.
After years of perfecting techniques of attaching marking bands to the legs of hummingbirds, master bird banders and bird experts are learning more secrets about hummingbirds. According to the experts, hummingbirds are now known to live longer than 10 years as opposed to the 2 to 3 previously thought, and are capable of migrating thousands of miles, one particular bird having spent the winter in Florida and the summer in Alaska. Experts also believe that the hummingbirds are aware of human tendency to put out hummingbird feeders and may even seek out urban areas for this reason. The experts are excited by the new discoveries, but also say that they ask more questions than they answer.
Discovery Channel's Paul Rosali is reportedly planning to purposefully be eaten alive by an anaconda. The wildlife filmmaker says he will be wearing a protective suit that will stop any potential injuries. Some are claiming that the stunt would just be a hoax due to the fact that it will be pre-recorded. However, a petition has begun circulating the web that is demanding that Discovery Channel remove the show from its lineup due to its graphic nature.
After being approached by a police officer for loitering outside an auto shop in Southern California, the man was arrested on charges of suspicion of transporting livestock without proof of ownership or identifying information. The officer looked in the suspected calf rustler's vehicle, where he saw a 150-pound female calf in the back seat of his car. The suspect told police he bought the calf for $200 at a gas station. Her ID tag had been forcibly removed from her ear, but she is currently being fostered by a local farmer while authorities search for her owner. And here's John Oliver Valentin with your latest entertainment news.
Don't let her small frame fool you. Ariana Grande gave a powerful performance of her smash hits Problem and Break Free at the MTV European Music Awards. She as well showed off a new look without that stupid ponytail. Perhaps she listened to my advice that I gave her on Pillow Talk Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Comedian Andy Dick was arrested on Friday night for suspicion of grand theft. The comedian allegedly stole the necklace of a man on Hollywood Boulevard last week. Police saw Dick riding his bike, probably stolen, and then made the arrest. Don't worry, he posted bond on Saturday morning and was released. I guess you can say this comedian really stole the show. Britney Spears is no longer a single lady. The pop star snapped a selfie with her boyfriend Charlie Ebersole last week. Charlie is an entrepreneur, TV, and film producer and considered a bigwig in reality TV. Sources say Britney is giddy over her new boyfriend and having a lot of fun. Madonna had an auction for a charity this past Friday where she sold some pretty materialistic items. The gown she wore for her Material Girl music video sold for $73,000, and just one of her earrings sold for $35,000, and a jacket from Desperately Seeking Susan sold for $252,000. Matt Damon will be returning as James Bourne in 2016. The actor confirmed the fourth Bourne movie at a press conference. He says he's excited and ready to start working on the film. Ooh, and one last thing. My outspoken, opinionated show, Pillow Talk, is back this Thursday at 10 p.m. here on Channel 88 and on YouTube. That's all for your entertainment news tonight. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, John Oliver. On Sunday, 8,000 helium balloons were released into the night sky over Germany's capital to mark the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. There were several celebratory events that were held, and over 10,000 people attended. The Berlin Wall was built in 1961 to stop people fleeing the Communist East. Its fall in 1989 became a powerful symbol of the end of the Cold War. The white balloons were perched about 9 miles above the ground, which is approximately the height the Berlin Wall once stood, and were released one by one to symbolize the breaching of the wall by crowds of protesters. We're the happiest people in the world, and we're thrilled that you brought the Berlin Wall down 25 years ago, said Klaus Bauerweit, the mayor of Berlin.
Over the weekend, the last 2 Americans being held by North Korea were released from their captivity. Kenneth Bay and Matthew Miller landed Saturday night near Seattle to welcoming embrace of family members. Miller was about 6 months into his 6-year sentence, and Bay was 2 years into his 15-year sentence. Bay spent a late night out Saturday enjoying a pizza with his sister.
50 people have been arrested for the murder of an Eastern Pakistani couple. A mob attacked the Christian couple Tuesday. Police believe the two were killed for allegedly desecrating the Quran, the religious text of the Islamic. The attack occurred after a local mullah declared the couple was guilty of blasphemy. The mob beat the couple and threw them into the burning kiln at which they worked. Rights groups are calling the crime a callous murder and are urging the repeal of the anti-blasphemy law, which makes the murder technically legal. Provincial government says it will give the family approximately $49,000 for its loss. Now let's hear from Freddie Pope with Showtimes.
Hello, and welcome back to Showtimes. We provide you with all the important movie news from the couch to the theater. We cover movies coming to Redbox, theaters, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. Since you missed us last week due to fall break, here's what I would have said. Out on Redbox are Seth MacFarlane's A Million Ways to Die in the West, Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow, and Angelina Jolie in Maleficent. Out on Netflix is Scream 4, and on Netflix and Amazon Prime is the Oscar-nominated Nebraska. In theaters from now on is the Dark Knight trilogy director Christopher Nolan's latest work, starring Matthew McConaughey, Interstellar. Also out is the fun kids movie Big Hero 6. Back to this week, Redbox will have X-Men Days of Future Past on its vending shelves. Netflix and Amazon Prime both came up short this week. In theaters is the comedy that we all have been waiting for, the true successor, Dumb and Dumber 2, which hits theaters this Thursday. Also this week marks the limited release of a serious drama starring none other than Steve Carell and Channing Tatum, called Foxcatcher. While it is only New York and Los Angeles, it is a movie to keep an eye out that will be coming to you very soon. Still in theaters for those who haven't seen are these recent hits. Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as a crime photographer, and Fury, a more serious version of Inglourious Basterds. Thank you for tuning in, and watch next week for more updates.
Thanks, Freddie. If you ever find yourself in downtown Amsterdam with the urge to use the restroom, the Dutch royal family urges you not to pee on the palace. Allegedly, many people have been using the royal palace's shadowy archways as a place to urinate at night, out of the sight of the police who regularly patrol the area. Authorities have put up a fence, but the Interior Ministry finds the fence unfitting to the historic location and has begun to install lights and motion sensors to deter people from relieving themselves.
At least 45 students at a Nigerian school were killed by a suicide bomber today. The suicide bomber, who police are speculating was a member of the militant group Boko Haram, came dressed as a student to the all-boys school earlier today. Boko Haram has been known to target schools during a deadly 5-year insurgency aimed at establishing an Islamic State. The state governor, Ibrahim Gadam, released a statement saying, "Urgent action must be taken right now to restore a fast-waning public confidence by doing whatever it takes to stop the escalating violence."
Daredevil Frenchman Francois Gissi broke his own previous record last Friday. At Circuit Paul Ricard in southern France, Gissi set a new record for the fastest bicycle. Using a bicycle with a Swiss rocket attached, he traveled 207 miles per hour, taking less than 5 seconds to reach that speed. At least he remembered to wear his helmet. Now let's check in with James for weather.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. As you can see, on Wednesday, we are going to have a cold front hit Clemson. It's going to be very cold. On Thursday, we're going to have a low below freezing of a cold 28 degrees, so make sure you cover your plants or get them inside for fear that they will freeze to death. Anyways, not any chance of a rainstorm this week, except on Sunday. We do have 70% chance of rain at 49 degrees, so it's going to be cold and rainy. Makes for a perfect Sunday. Let's take a look outside your window right now. It is a warm 55 degrees, clear outside. You should be able to see some stars tonight. Winds out of the east at 3 miles per hour, and it's very humid outside tonight, 79%. I'm not sure why that is. Taking a look at your radar, there is a low pressure system in the Atlantic Basin right now manifesting itself. It has about 24 to 48 hours to do anything before it gets hit by that cold front that hits us on Wednesday. And so I was, my friend wanted a sandwich made, and I said, quit loafing around, get it yourself. But then I gave it to him anyways, because it was the yeast I could do. And I know my jokes are stale and crummy. Yeah, I know. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Clemson.
Be sure to like our Tigervision Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night, Clemson.